Okay, my dear friends, good evening. So, did you all come up with your homework?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall we check the answers directly? Today, I'm not going to wait. We are going to start a new module, okay? So, we'll just check the answers and test how you have done. This is a test for yourself, okay? Those who have sincerely done it, I don't want to, make them feel bad. And if there are any discussions and all, we will have one more class the other day and we will see for the answers, not today. Today, we'll start the new module and now let us check the answers. Right. You have written your answers on a notebook, I guess. I will just name the number and the answer I'll read. Just correct them, that's it. Okay? Yeah, answers for the bicycle labeling. The first one is bicycle handlebar or only handlebar. Number one is bicycle handlebar or only handlebar. Number two, you can write three answers. Bicycle saddle or only saddle or seat. Bicycle saddle, saddle or seat. Number three is pedal. P-E-D-A-L, pedal. Number four, crankum. Crankum. C-R-A-N-K-A-R-M. I repeat, C-R-A-N-K-A-R-M. Crankum. Number five, coxet. Coxet. The spelling goes like this, C-O-G-S-E-T. C-O-G-S-E-T, coxet. Number six, stem. Repeating, six is stem. Mute yourself, please. Number seven, fork. F-O-R-K, fork. Number seven is fork. Number eight, bicycle frame. Bicycle frame or frame. Bicycle frame or frame. Number nine, down tube. Down tube. D-O-W-N-T-U-B-E. Down tube. And last but not least, number 10, chain. Chain. C-H-A-I-N. Let me go through my friends. Come on, who has got all the corrects? Please raise your hands. Wow, fantastic. Seven students have raised the hand. Very good. All correct. Malasri, Ronnie, Meghana. Let me read the names so that everyone will know. Krishna, Shalini, Uday, Devi, and Sanjana. Very good. If I missed any name, sorry. Sai Chand also. Okay, please put your hands down. One mistake, please raise the hand. Sai Chand, put your hand down. One mistake, raise the hand. Sanjana, you got all corrects, I guess. Ani, Tarun, Karthik, Sumant. Good. But still, that was an easy one, dear. Okay. More than two mistakes, raise a hand. Put your hands down, Karthik Chaudhary, put your hand down. More than two mistakes, raise a hand. No issues. At least we will know and then I can help you for more other exercises. Murthy, more than two mistakes. No problem. You can raise a hand. I won't read the name for you. Just raise a hand. If you really have a problem and tell me there's a problem, I can help you. Only Mr. Murthy. Okay. Put your microphone on mute, please, Mr. Sai Kumar and Ajit. Okay. Moving on to the next one. Let us go to the next one. Mr. Murthy will work on anything which we require. You make a note on your doubts and all. And the doubt session this week, we will just resolve those doubts. Anyone, rest of the students also. Okay. Now move on to the next one. Okay. The self-assessment for, matching the headings. Okay. You have only 6 paragraphs given and 8 answers, so you don't have two are not the answers for your passage. Okay, What are the two which are not the answers? I'll tell you. Number 1 and 7 are not the answers. Number 1, no answer, because it is not matching to any paragraph. Extinction of monstrous creature is not an answer for passage. And second one, the largest mammal is the title to be given for D, the paragraph D. The largest mammal is to be given for paragraph D. Now, the third one, myths and reality, is to be given for paragraph C. Myths and reality, answer for third one is C. And number 4, incredible creatures of Paleocene Australia is A. It's A. Number 4 is A. Number 5, importance of animal protection. Importance of animal protection, it's F, paragraph F, last paragraph. And number 6, giant lizards. Giant lizards is the answer for paragraph E, E for elephant. And number 7, arrival of Australian Aboriginals is not an answer for any of the passages. Arrival of Australian Aboriginals is not an answer for any of the passages. Leave it. 1 and 7 are not at all the answers. Now the next one is mystery of Jane's disappearance. Mystery of Jane's disappearance. The answer is B. Paragraph B. So I repeat, none. First one is none. Second one is D. Third one is C. Fourth one is A. Fifth one is F. Sixth one is E. Seventh one is again none. And eighth one is B. Okay? So my friends, I'm coming to you. All correct, raise your hands. Alikya, fantastic. Karthik, good. Funny. Still any more? Very good. Oh, why? Okay, only 2 hands are raising, but still I really appreciate them. Give a big round of applause. I am giving. I'm giving from my side. Okay, fine. And one mistake, put your hands down. One mistake, Shalini, Mr. Krishna, Malashri, Sai, Ron, Meghna. Good. One mistake is also very good in making the headings. Okay. More than 2 mistakes, please raise a hand. Put your hands down. More than 2 mistakes, raise a hand. Sumant, Miss Indumati. Oh, Indumati ji, I forgot to make you add your number today. Now I'll make that then.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Sorry. Okay. It's fine. Indumati, you will just gradually go into it because it's one of the toughest questions. Don't worry about it, okay? We will revise on that whenever there is a gap
Okay,
for our
ma'am.
modules, okay?
Okay,
Right.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
I like the honesty of my friends, okay? Because we are all virtually present, I'm not going to handle a scale, iron scale or something, and I'm not going to beat you. It's your career, it's your goal, it's your passion. That's the reason why you are in the class. Okay, fine. Having 2 days of holidays. Who are my very best friends who did not do the self-assessment? Please raise the hands. Please agree to it. Please raise the hands. Those who did not, at least try to attempt it. Maybe you might be, yesterday morning we sent, I guess. You might be busy because of some household chores or something else. Please raise the hands who didn't do it at all. Manasa, I really appreciate you. Mr. Narsimham, Praveen, Ajit, okay, Rakeel, Navya. Okay, so my dear friends, I really appreciate your sincerity, but I also very much appreciate you when you really do these exercises because Sai Kumar, please mute yourself. Because these exercises, Mr. Sai Kumar, Host, please take care of this, Mr. Sai Kumar. Okay, so this is very, very important. If you don't do the exercises, you see the problem is, I'm not scolding also, I'm just telling you what is the, criteria if you don't go for it. You would not know where you're falling and you would not actually see, maybe this course goes for 1 month or so, 4 weeks, 4 modules will happen. Now a doctor is available with you. If you have a problem, yes, I am there to cure you and solve your doubts or problems, whatever you have. If you're doing simultaneously along with the sessions which are going on, we can have a discussion and we can resolve issues. But once everything is completed, and no one will be able to help you also at that point of time. Okay, so please make use of the facility given to you to the 100% of possibility. Okay, that's my recommendation. And can I know, my friends, who are the first ones to come to today's class? Today is the first class for them. Praveen, Vamsi, Sai Kumar. Sai Kumar, I have seen you, I guess. Okay, fine. Navya. Okay. One Chinese name is there in the middle with some figures and numbers. I don't know what is it. Please rename yourself with a blue color icon. Okay. And I also appreciate you guys to be very regular, because it is very, very important that you should not miss the flow. Okay. The flow is very important. Now, as a few people have answered, I would like to show you how many marks. For example, in labeling is one of the question given to you, and the second one is reading comprehension, matching headings. The other one is true or false. Let's say for few students who have really answered, maybe in
Ma'am,
yeah, ma'am.
ma'am, I'm having one doubt, ma'am, for seventh question.
Now I'm not going to take the doubts. Afterwards I'll take the doubts, because I have to start the listening at the end, or else tomorrow's class we'll take the doubts, dear.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, I already told you in the beginning itself, but definitely I will solve your doubt. Keep it as it is
Okay,
for tomorrow. Okay,
okay, ma'am.
thank you. Because what happens is the main essence of today's class will go away, and that takes more time, right? And I will resolve your doubt. Post the doubt in the chat, and I'll post the answer to you. Right. Fine. So I'll just show you right now. What are your scores? Suppose you got two mistakes, and two mistakes. 6 mistakes you have got for an average student. Okay. I'm sharing the screen. Please mute yourself. Ha. So now you can see on the screen the scoring pattern. Are you able to see anything on the screen, friends?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now let us see what kind of score you have got. So this is a general scoring, sheet for general module as well as the academic module, right? So let's say that you have got 35 to 36, means two mistakes, one mistake, two mistake. That is 35. So your band score in general is 8. If 36 is as a student in academics, you got 36, it is 7.5. See the difference? No. Academic is more, where general is less. I'm sorry. I just have reshuffled this. Okay. First I pasted this way. Right. So let us look at this. Let us look at the orange part which has been there. Okay. Orange colored, headed box which has been there. If it is for an academic student. So if you are in between 39 to 40, you have got 9 band score. Please mute yourself. What's happening? I don't understand. Sumant, Sunil, mute yourself. I'll solve that doubt also. Right. Fine. Now 37 to 38 is 8.5. 35 to 36 is 8. Now in the present class, most of you, like for the first one, you will be asking doubts. You just go on posting in the chat. At the end or in the middle, when we have a pause, I will just resolve your doubts. Okay. Don't expect the answer immediately, because the flow of the class will go away. Right. Okay. Right. So 35 to 36 is like 4 or 5 students in the present class have got, and it might be 8 band score. If it is 35 to 36. And 33 to 34, most of you have got it, and it is 7.5 as a band score. See, you have been scoring really very well. I really appreciate, and I'm feeling very proud of you all. Right? And 30 to 32. In the beginning itself, I promised you have to be beyond 7. 30 to 32 means, okay, let us take three passages. 3 mistakes in one each and every passage is a very big task for us. 3 mistakes we are not getting actually. It is 7. And 27 to 29 is 6.5. 27 means 4 mistakes in every passage, or else 1 mistake in one passage and 6-7 mistakes in another passage, 2 mistakes in one passage. Nonsense, we won't get it. We are beyond this. As of now, most of you, maybe 50% above the students, 50% of the students are getting 30 to 32. And 30% of the students are here, 27 to 29. Even in Miss Indumati, you will fall here 6.5. Okay, don't worry, you have to increase to 7.5. So this is how you have to look forward to your betterment. Now, if you want to compare yourself to a general, 40 is 9, because I told you why this criteria. You might have any, what is this, what is happening? Okay, the thing is, for general, the passages are 5 in number and it is easy compared to academic. Always remember, when something is easy, the scores will be very high. Okay, and the cutoff marks will be very high, the pass percentages will be very high. That's why if you're only having 40, you'll get 9 in general. If you're having 39, you'll have 8.5. But whereas here in academic, 39 to 40. Okay, and then 37 to 38 is 8. Here 35 to 36. And 30, only 36 is 7.5, right? So this is how you people will be scored, and the score sheet is given to you, right? And okay, Ron also has it out. We'll discuss afterwards. Ron, tomorrow in the first beginning of the class, we'll have the discussion. Excuse me for that, because we have to go on with the intro today. That is very important. Okay, today we are going to go into the next phase of our Ielts, okay, which is common. When we draw a Venn diagram, I guess you people have known mathematics of your 10th standard, 6th standard, 7th standard. You have set theory in that you have Venn diagram. If you draw a Venn diagram, this common part, the intersection part, has 2 things which are there in Ielts. One is the speaking, the other one is listening. So even though you have 2 modules, one is general and as well as the other one is academic, what happens is you are going to have it as, okay, you are going to have this listening as well as speaking as the common modules for both of them, right? So you are not going to be differentiated here. So both the things are same. Now let us go into the actual phase of listening. And you know, this is what I wanted to show you. Actually, this is for your reading part. I will be showing you the listening criteria at the end of the listening part. If I show you right now, you will just get used to it. You felt happy looking at this after having done your reading comprehension. Okay, so this is not for your listening, this is for your reading. Wanted to show you where you are standing. Okay, right. Now this is a common sheet, okay, answer sheet, which is actually from the Cambridge University. If you see at the top, you have British Council, title as IDP, and the University of Cambridge, ESOL examinations, right? And this is a common sheet which will be sent to you to answer both listening as well as reading. You'll get 2 sheets. Now you should also get acquainted, because if you just go on writing on a white sheet and everything, you know, it will take some time for you to get accommodated, how you have to fill your numbers and everything. So if you have seen this, you know, a slanting and sliding down arrow marks here, okay, so these are actually, okay, where you will be given one number. See, once you go into the examination center, on the desk near the computer, you will be given one number which is called as a center code. no, not the center code. It's the registration number that you are being given. So you have to note down the registration number here and you have to mark. For example, in the first box here, you have marked it as, for example, 1 second. Drop. This is the first box which I am talking about. If you're given the 6-digit number, you just mark them. And suppose it is 2. So you have to just highlight 2 here, and that's how you fill in the number. And if you're writing in anything in writing, everything should be written. Okay, everything should be written in capital letters only. No small letters are accepted, and you are not allowed to use a pen. You are allowed to use only one thing, that is the pencil. You shouldn't use a pen, not even a black point pen. If you are writing your JEE mains or NEET or any GATE or any other exam, you are asked to use a pen, but here it is only a pencil. Even for writing an essay also, please make a note, even for writing an essay also, you have to go for using this. Okay, which one? The pencil. Okay, and you have to write your name here. Then after that, come down, you have the test date. Okay, so you have to mention the date here. You have to mark it. I'll show you in the next slide. Okay, let me go to the next slide. It will give you more clarity. See this. So you have to put your number here. The center number will be given to you and you have to write here your number, registration number, or your serial number on the day of the examination in the examination center. You will be known. So you have to fill in here. Whatever the number is mentioned, you have to mark it there. And look at the name should be there in capital letters, and look at how you have to fill in the date. So suppose it is 18th, yeah, and month is January 1 and year 2021. Okay, so you have to go for the year 21. This was an 18 paper, so it was lasted till 18 only. So if you're going by January or February, by next month, you will be having 21 also there. Okay, so that is one. And if you can see here down, this is how, okay, 1 to 40, the numbers will be numbered, and this is how the boxes would be given. So you have to answer them. You should not touch this, the tick and wrong marks which have been over there. You should not fill anything. It is the responsibility of the examiners only. They will use it for the correction purpose. The University of Cambridge evaluators will be using it. But whereas here you will be using only, this broad box in order to answer your questions. So this is what you do. And to give you more clarity, I'll be going into the next one also. See, why I am showing this to you is this is very important that every student should know how you have to be there in the exam center. See here, the center name is already given to the students. So it is mentioned here, the number is here. 0 is here, so 0 is marked likewise. And the name in capital letters, the date is also marked. See here. There are some arrow marks which are being designated here to make you understand what should you write. Okay, see, look at the top you have. Pencil must be used to complete the answer sheet. Don't use a pen. Next year, write your candidate number in the boxes indicated and share the corresponding boxes. Already done. With your name in write your name in capital letters and share the boxes to indicate the test date completed. We explained, we have got the explanation till there. Write your answers in the boxes. Already we learned. If you want to change, yes, this is one more thing. If it is a bubbling OMR, what happens is it will be kept in scanning and, they will check it likewise. This is a manual thing done. This is not a scanner thing done. Okay. But they will test your identity and everything through the numbers and all will be tested through the scanner, whereas the correction will be done manually. Don't worry regarding that. So that's the reason why when you have written anything wrong, see, if you want to change the answer, erase or cross out the original answer and write the new answer. Suppose you have mistakenly wrote wrong, and as it is a pencil, it's not any problem. You can just use an eraser to erase it, and you can just mention your answers. But whereas sometimes you may not have time to do it, and at the end you might have checked it, so in a hurry you just draw one line to cross the word, and there itself you write down what's the answer that you felt was really correct. Okay, so don't make messy things happening, right? Don't scribble too much so that the things could not be understood. That is very important. And here, if you just look into, I told you regarding this tick and wrong mark which have been mentioned, do not write anything in the tick and wrong columns. Don't write. They are only for the evaluators, not for us. So this is how you have to scan your paper. This is how your paper answer sheet will be there for your both the reading as well as listening, because they both contain 40 questions. So I hope we are all ready with the reading part and how the paper will be and everything. Now let us jump into our today's part, that is listening. My dear friends, the total time that we have to go for listening is 30 minutes, right? Only 30 minutes, half an hour is given to us. And you have 4 sections, 40 questions. 4 sections, 40 questions, 30 minutes, not 40 minutes. Afterwards, I'll tell you regarding other 10 minutes are for just shifting your answers from the question paper to your answer sheet. Okay, let us talk about the 30 minutes time which is there for us. Okay, in total, you will be listening to the recordings, various types of recordings, and you have one to each section, or the recording will involve 10 questions. Okay, only 10 questions. Now let us check how the set of questions will be there. Anyhow, this kind of slide will be repeating in this presentation to make you very much accommodated with what is there in which section. Suppose I make you wake up tomorrow morning, my dear friend, what will be there in the first section? You have to tell that it is a conversation, normal conversation. Okay, so I want you to get to such a level of accommodation, understanding, friendliness with your listening part. Okay, right. Now, I told you in the beginning, on the beginning day itself, you have 2 types of conversation. 2 types of talks, not conversations, 2 types of talks. The first one is a conversation, and the second one is a monologue. Now, if I have to, presently, I am not giving any chance to anyone to speak because, we are not in a physical class. And let me give the whole thing to the perfection and then come back to you and ask the doubts. Okay, ask you to ask the doubts, right? That is my motto because we are virtually gathered, right? So right now, I am only the person who's talking. So I'm mono, single. So the log, okay, anything, the root word which is there for speaking is log, dialogue, monologue, whatever. Okay, so you have to go with, I'm talking in a monologue now. Whereas if I asked Saichan to talk and he started talking and Tarun also started talking with it and Mr. Krishna also started, that is a conversation, obviously we all know. If I say continuously, this is conversation, you say, what nonsense, ma'am? Don't we know what is a conversation? Yes. So you have a combination. This is a combo pack. Listening is a combo pack of 4. 1 conversation, 2 monologue, next conversation, then a dialogue. Okay. But there is a difference between first 2 recordings or first 2 sections to the last 2 sections. Okay. Let us see what is there. First 2 sections are normal real life situations. I'll explain you in clarity what would be there. And the next 2 will be of academic. They'll be of academic, and you have to be really very alert because, some university, not only some universities, what kind of vocabulary, what kind of knowledge, what kind of words would be used in the academic scenario. Okay, and technical jargon, technical words which are to be used. For example, we were all discussing about Saichin. What was the word which was generator? And that day we were talking about, what is that? All mechanical students, we all
Turbine
discussed.
shaft.
Shaft. These are all technical words, right? Okay, so you have to be knowing not only about your mechanical knowledge, maybe about computers, maybe about biology. So we have to increase our vocabulary on various dimensions. Okay, so next to our academic. Now, let's see what clearly goes into every section. Children, try to understand it as not as a lesson. Just make it as friendly as you can and go very much immersed into listening, because this is the place where you can score 9 on 9. I can write and give it to you provided you practice one test a day for 30 minutes. Maybe from tomorrow itself. You can do it. Okay? Proper practice. One pill of a practice test every day. Fine. Now let us look into the section 1. The first one is a conversation where two persons would be talking to each other, and it would be a general talk. Okay. Now, for example, you guys will go to Australia or UK or USA, and the first, instance, you will not know what's happening there, where are the things available. So you will go and find out about the information from some offices. So you will know about the orientation of the place. You try to understand about the place, asking some questions to the local person or the alumni, means, or the senior student from the college, right? So it can be the orientation of a place, which means an understanding of a place, or else inquiring the information. So you go to an office to find out about, what are the various provisions for the international students from all over the world who go and study in abroad, especially in Australia and all. You go to the admission office or inquiry office, and you ask them. So that is inquiring information. And mastering the alphabet, you actually know about A, B, C, D's of everything. You want to know about that place or different aspects of that particular prospect and all. So you go for that. Mastering the numbers and date. So sometimes you will have to know about the history. If both of you are talking about the history and the discussion is going on, you have to know about the numbers and dates, which are actually, it should go very deeply into your mind. Listening skills are very important. So these kind of normal discussions, very casual discussions, will happen between two people, a boy and a girl, or as a man and a woman, whatever, or both of the same gender. Now move on to the next one, which is a kind of what am I speaking right now? I'm not allowing you to speak. That is a monologue. See, today I wantedly changed my accent, my dear friends, gradually to pick up to that level. So I am in the middle. This is, see, friends, this is the normal thing which I speak. Today, I just picked up the level of conversation because I want you to gradually lift yourself into the listening part. Okay, so right, come on, listening section 2. So what's that I'm doing right now is a monologue. I'm only speaking. What kind of things would be addressed here? It is also on the realistic situations, real life general scenarios. So it will be about the recognizing of the direction. So when you go to the university, it will be of thousands of acres. So you have to know what's the administration block, what's the academic block, what's the library, where's the cafeteria, all those things you have to know. So knowing about turning to the left, right, taking a diagonal, all these things, you should be in a position to go further. So recognizing directions and understanding instructions. Sometimes very important instructions will be given by the next person. Okay, because this is not a conversation, but somebody will be giving you at a stretch some information which talks about few instructions. Only if you follow those instructions, you will arrive at something which you really require. So understanding instructions will be monologue only, and labeling a map. So again, administrative law, cafeteria, the practical labs and everything, wherever they are, you will be given the maps. So you have to label the maps also. So these two, first one and the second one, first is the conversation, second is a monologue, but they talk in general, like we chat with each other, going to a new place. Now come to the next one, which is listening section 3, comprising the questions from 21 to 30 or 21 to 29, whatever. So now here, what happens is sometimes only 2 people, but sometimes more than 2 people, mostly more than 2 people, 2 to 3 to 4 people minimum, they would be having a conversation. Now and it is not at all a general conversation. It is a bounded conversation on academic purpose. Okay, so you have distinguishing voices. So you first of all, should be in a position to understand which voice belongs to whom. In the beginning itself, they try to introduce themselves, or one person. For example, if Harshin is talking here, I wanted to ask Miss Manasa about the tutorial. So I mentioned Manasa, and then the next voice starts from Manasa. So you should be in a position to recognize the voices because they are very distinguished and different. And there might be tutorials. In the tutorials also, what happens is it would be an informal kind of situation where you people, as we had a session on Christmas Day, general doubts, we had an informal class in such a way. I really appreciate the way that you all have asked the questions and resolved your queries. So tutorials, many of you will talk. Project discussions. So when there is a normal group discussion about something, everyone will come and talk. But if it is really a project discussion, many of you will be involved in speaking. So you should be in a position to understand to which category of academic that this speech or the conversation belongs to, and what are the project discussions. This is also a bit challenging, not too much challenging. And tutors and students involved. And sometimes what happens is a group of 4 or 5 students will be having a discussion with the lecturer, okay, a faculty member. See, my dear friends, let me tell you, even, only in Indian system, we have this, a rote learning way. I'm not degrading it. I have a respect towards it, but I'm telling you the difference. So when when a topic is being taught to you, it would be on black and white on a board, and you will be asked to do some presentations afterwards, and maybe very less time is given for the discussions, especially among yourselves or with your faculty members, maybe at the end of the class. Okay. Whereas when you go abroad and study, what happens is you will be given the concept. Yes, tomorrow onwards, we are going to discuss about Paleolithic era. And today you're supposed to go into the library, jump into the books or do whatever you want, come up with the concept tomorrow itself. You yourself has to complete the reading part before the lesson begins itself. And then what happens is the start of the lesson goes like this, with a discussion between a teacher and the student or among the students, and then they arrive at the conclusions. So all the way of knowledge will be acquired and they come to a common consensus, and finally they finalize the lesson, and then the teacher comes with the lesson. So this is how a reverse engineering happens, especially, and that is mainly called as peer discussion. Okay, so this is how a bit of difficulty happens in listening section 3, because it is of academic and more number of voices would be there. And moving on to the last, section 4, 31 to 40, you have a discourse going on. Discourse is a lecture on something which is new, and you should be in a position to understand, interpret, analyze, and you have to come up with your answers. Normally, in a general class, I just ask the question. Your faculty will ask the questions as and when she wanted to ask, and you give out the answers. But here the challenge is they give you multiple choice, they give you sentence completions, they give you matching, they give you diagrams to make the complexity happen. So you have to recognize the discourse markers, listening to a lecture, and variety of topical issues. What not anything can be put before you in the form of a normal lecture, which only one person one person is supposed to speak. So this is a whole thing which happens in your listening section, and it's not at all difficult provided you go with the strategies again. Okay, we go very slowly. First 2 days, maybe we go very slowly to understand the perfect concept, but from third day or second day itself, we start in such a way that I want you all, okay, when I as well as you all should be on a same pace of understanding the accent, speaking the accent. Now onwards, my friend should also, every one of you should also try to imitate some accents. Okay, I don't say that you take your naturality, but why you should go with the accent is you are going to listen to various accents like American, British, Australian, Scandinavian, so many accents. So if you are going to go for that, obviously you have to experiment on yourself. Okay, Right. So this is the second thing which we are going on with. Till now, any doubts, my dear friends? I can jump, right? Jumping. Fine. So let us go to the listening question types. As in reading, you have different question types here. Also, you have, these are the basic question types. I'll go deeper into every question. The first one goes with my favorite color, the sea green, the labeling questions. Okay. So today also you completed in reading the bicycle. That is how the labeling questions happen. Maybe in maps or plots or chats, you have these labeling questions, and you have sentence completion questions where you should be really very careful about the grammar part also. Down in yellow, vibrant yellow, you have short answer questions. Then you're in red. Okay, you have completion questions. Anything. It can be a form completion, note completion, any kind of completion. Some paper will be given to you, some words will be taken away, messed up, and they'll give you the paper with taking away the words, and you have to fill in the information listening to the conversation or else a monologue. Okay, then you have the matching questions. So don't worry, here the things are not going to be difficult, but your concentration and your way of addressing to each and every type of question is very important. Okay, right. So these are for general information. Now, if you go deeper, okay, to identify the type of questions, these are the various perfect set of questions which we have in the listening part. Friends, we have multiple choice question. Multiple choice can be of different ways here, friends. It can be of different ways. For example, A, B, C can be given to you and you have to identify a letter. That is one kind of multiple choice. Second one is you will be given A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, some words in the list. And they'll ask you on the top, identify two things from the list. Okay, so you should be in a position not to answer the thing with your letter, but along with the word. So multiple choice also goes like that. Not only A, B, C, D. From that you pick up A or B or C. You have to also pick up some words based on the question. Always, always based on the question itself. Okay. Now moving on to the next one is a note completion. That means, for example, if there is a monologue going on, okay, and there is one instruction given, or a list of instructions given by one person to the other, so you should be in a position to derive and present the actual words which are from the whatever the instructions which are being given. So you will be removed some words, as I said, some words from the instructions, and you will be given it as a form of a notes, in the form of fill in the blanks or gap fillers, I say. So you just fill them, use in the technique called as note completion, just removing the words and giving you a paragraph. Then a table completion. So maybe this will come in section 1 and section 3, where you will have a diagram and based on the conversation. So you don't feel like all the side of A will be filled and all the side of B will not be filled. No. First one, A will be filled, B will be left vacant, idle without any word. And second one, A will not be filled and B will be filled. Okay, third one, all two will be filled, so you need not touch that. Fourth one, anything can happen. So maybe two will be left vacant. So your ability lies what is there in the table that you should listen, and what is asked in the table that you should also listen and make it done. And my dear friends, you have to write the answers in a shorthand. I don't mean that the shorthand of the type language. Only few experts will know. Even I don't know the shorthand thing. That is a different thing. But write the answers roughly on your question paper. Don't focus on writing very slowly, neatly on the question paper and sculpting something. Write casually. But when you're shifting or lifting your answers from the question paper to the answer sheet, you should be really very careful. Okay. Next one is matching, as you know. Pick from a list, you will be given some words and you have to pick from the list A, B, C, D. Form completion. application forms or identification forms or cafeteria menu forms, anything would be given to you. You should be in a position to fill them because some words will be removed. And sentence completion. I say this is one of the trap which we have in IELTS listening, because in sentence completion, you should be really very, very vigilant about whether the sentence is asked to write the answer in singular or plural. Maybe the person who's speaking will be talking in a singular way, but the question might be asked in such a way that the answer would be addressed to a plural thing. So you should be really understanding grammar is very important. And even in grammar, you have a concept called a subject verb agreement. So having some 10 points under that, if you just go through those 10 points, if we run in a grammar class the 10 points, everything can be done. Okay, right. Now moving on to the next, labeling a map as well as a plan. You will be given maps and plans of buildings and everything. Maps of gardens, maps of historical buildings or whatever. Then short answer questions. When you write a short answer questions, you have to take the count of the words in the question. Write no less than 2 words. This headache is there in listening also. Write only 1 word. Write no less than 3 words. You will be addressed. So you have to be careful reading the question. That is very important. And classification questions. Classification will also be like this in the form of a table or a flow chart or anything. You can easily do it. Summary completion in the form of a paragraph where they'll give you, this is again something which takes your toll. Okay, summary completion is a bit challenging. Sentence completion is not challenging, but if you follow the grammar which is there in the passage, in your question, it's not at all difficult for you. Then going on with the next one, labeling a diagram is also easy because we had an experience in our reading part and a flowchart completion. So these are only the types of questions which might be asked to you, but they're broadly classified like this. There are 6 broad classifications. If you go deeper into that, these are the variety of questions. Okay, right. Any doubts still here? Friends? Okay,
No, ma'am.
thank you. How should you answer now, my dear? Don't mistake me, I'll talk like this when the class is presently going on because the accent should be understood. Don't mistake me for the accent or the way that I'm pronouncing the words. This is only for your sake. I can speak in normal English also, right? Yeah, actually, in my classes, I do so, not to make the class boring. Okay, let us go for listening tip 1. See, you have one keyword here. Find the anchor words in the questions. What's the anchor word? What's the anchor word, my dear students who've done the reading part? What is the paraphrase for anchor? No. In reading, we actually underline some words in the questions. What are those words called as?
Keywords.
So there is one paraphrase to it also here. So you can name your keywords as anchor words. So you can anchor them, you can find out them easily, right? So keywords. So find the anchor words in the questions. That means find the keywords in the questions. And I told you, do this slide also as a a paraphrase thing. For everything you have to paraphrase. Even in listening also, the same word will never be used to make you identify. A kind of a word will be used. If you are listening to the same kind of a word, what happens, you will be in a trap. Definitely the answer won't be there. Until and unless if it is a highly technical word, means it is related to biology or history or psychology, exact word from technology, they are not having paraphrase. But here, when they give you questions or anything, they go only with the paraphrasing. So practice paraphrase. Okay. Now, for example, what should IELTS students do to prepare? So what are we doing? We are just underlining the keywords, the students. Which students? The candidates or the students who take the test takers. Prepare means study. So that's how you have to paraphrase, also underline. Okay. Now the second one, which is very important, as I said, is you have to go with the grammar. See here? Actually, a blank is given here without yes. IELTS and TOEFL are both dash of English. Okay, if you haven't seen them, normally you would write test of English, but they're not tests, they are tests of English. How could you write it? One thing is you have and here. If you have and there are two different words, they are identified to be two different things. And you have a grammar, hint over here, that is are. Are is a plural verb, and you have to write the answer with a plural noun. So therefore, both tests of English. It is not test of English, tests of English. So identify the grammar clues. Friends, first one, go with the keywords. Underline the keywords and paraphrase in your mind. The next one is identify the grammar which is there in the sentences. Especially I told you in sentence completions, you have this problem. And then don't try to listen everything. I'll tell you how your heart really beats from tomorrow onwards. You know, the speaker will be speaking blah, 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 blah. You might have forgotten, you might not have concentrated on first blah, blah or second blah, blah. Okay, so you will be thinking, I forgot, what could I do? How can I answer this? In that thought process, how can I answer? You miss the exact thing which you have to answer and you will mess up at the end not writing anything, or you mess up with wrong answers. So what is that you have to do is you have to practice targeted listening. Okay, now before you go and listen to what is needed according to the question, you have to go without the distractions. So normally many of the youth like you, I became old, okay, many of the youth like you actually have this habit while listening to music, while having so much of noise, sitting before the television or playing a game, you sit and study and tell to your parents that I can do or whatever I can. So first thing is keep away all your distractions and focus 100% because this is a test which gives you full on full, module which gives you full on full. 9 on 9 is definitely achievable. And I have 4 students who achieved whom I have given the instruction. Okay, it's a fact. Next. Skip the question if you don't hear the answer. Now, okay, I told you blah blah completed, blah 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 completed. You didn't listen to blah blah. Okay, no problem. Leave it. You forgot. Okay, you didn't find the answer in the next level. Leave it. What is there? Okay, so 4th question, oops, you forgot. Or you didn't pay the concentration because you were scribbling something on your question paper. Don't worry. And question number 7, you left. This is for just an example. No problem, but you have answered most of the questions. At the end, we write something because this is an exam which doesn't carry any negative marking, so you can write anything. The leftover questions can be answered with a guess. Taking the answer from 3 and 5, you can just identify what sort of answer is there in 4. At the end, I don't ask you to do experimenting when you're listening to the questions. Okay? And see here, you should not do this. Question 4 you missed. Because you missed it, I missed it. You will miss next 7 questions. Okay, so you should be really very polished, dignified, decent, concentrate, and focus only on the things, right? Don't deviate yourself. So, skip if you did not hear the answer. Last one is check grammar and spelling. These are the 5 things which you have to, singular or plural. According to the sentence or the conversation, you have to be answering. Even though the conversation is about plural, you will be getting a question in singular, you have to be really very, very, careful. And then you have the misspelled words written. You write some nonsense. Because, see, one major problem for all the present generation students is you people are not getting used to writing, and you're not focusing on the spelling because once you started typing on the phone or anything, you get the spelling there and you add it. That's it. But That is where you're missing. I recommend you to also read the spellings. Even for reading test, I told you. Okay, I told you no. You have to go with the topic called as subject verb agreement. Tomorrow, not tomorrow. Tomorrow it's a very big presentation I prepared already. It is for testing every type of question and understanding and answering every type of question which has been there. So tomorrow we won't have time. Day after tomorrow, I'll be explaining you the concept of, because we completed tenses, the next topic is subject verb agreement. We go with that. And hardly you have 10 rules. They'll be helpful to you. Then use of capital letters. Friends, using capital letters or small letters is a strong decision to be taken by you in the beginning of your exam, means writing the answers. I'll tell you in the next slides. Okay? Should you use to infinite, to plus a noun or ing? Should you use to write or writing? To go or going, according to the sense of the grammar which has been there. Also, should you use proper preposition or generally present the word there? You have to be in a position to answer with sense, not without common sense. Okay? Right. Friends, if you want to take a pick, you can take this, or else this one I'll share with you. These are the resources for IELTS. As and when you listen to more, you get accustomed to listen to the voices of English from various accents and all. IELTS listening will become very easy for you. Just put your earphone and sleep before sleeping, or having your Instagram or Twitter or LinkedIn, whatever. You just have this going on into your mind. So what happens is you will be a proper listener. Anything in the world which is spoken to you, especially in a different accent of English, you should be in a position to understand. Okay? So, listening resources. IELTS Made Easier, maybe 6-minute English, LO.org, Breaking News English, Listen a Minute, ESL Lab. These are all the various. I'll share you this. Instead of wasting the time here, I'll share you this. So start working on that. Okay, these are the various resources. I don't say they are the listening tests. They're not at all the listening tests. They will help you to identify different accents, different types of accents that you have to go on your IELTS listening. Okay, and you will get used to what kind of conversations that you have. Right. This will be shared to you tonight. Okay. Now, till now, I'm going to jump into the next phase. Before jumping into the next phase, can anyone ask? If you have any doubts, I'll be checking the chat. Please type in the chat. We'll have a discussion. Meanwhile, just a second, I'll drink some water and come back. Here I have the bottle. So come with your doubts in your chat box. There was a question posted. To write IELTS, is a paper-based test fine or a computer-based test fine? I 100% recommend a paper-based test. 100%. Computer-based test has its own problems, which we will be discussing in one of the sections where I come up with the slides and give you some interfaces also. Okay? Go for computer-based test. Because the kind of flexibility the paper-based test, see what is that you require? If you are a proper, if you have a proper pace of typing the words and all, computer-based test is easy. But that's not the only thing. Many of the flexibility issues that you have in paper-based test is not there with computer. One or two which are there in computer-based test are not there in paper-based. But most flexibility is happening with paper-based. So go with paper-based blindly. Can we watch more English? Obviously, please watch more English films. I recommend yesterday or day before I watched one movie, Marvel. It's Marvel. No. I watched Gravity. It's a fantastic movie. It has got 7 Oscars. If you have interest on aerospace or astronomy or something else, please watch that. Interstellar is one movie which I watched last week. Please do watch movies if you have time. Presently, you all have time. I guess if you're not going to your colleges, as a tablet, as a medicine every day, do watch something which is really needed to you. Okay? Right. Don't watch all those web series which are not needed. Web series in English are okay, but still see what is to be watched and what not to be. That movie which I said right now was Gravity. It's a fantastic thing. Please watch it. Maybe somebody will get bored, but the technology which they used is really fantastic. Any one of you have watched Gravity?
Yes, ma'am, I watched.
How is it?
It's good, ma'am.
It's good, right? It got 7 Oscars, dear.
Yes, ma'am.
Also watch Interstellar. It is a bit difficult to understand, but I really felt, is this quantum theory helping us to go forward and all? Okay, we talk about movies and share the ideas.
Ma'am, your voice is not audible.
Thank you. Okay. Now jump again. Go. I said this slide will be repeated to make it imbibed, absorbed into your body. That is very, very important. Okay, you have 40 minutes in total and 30 minutes to listen and answer on the question paper.
Ma'am, there's a lot of disturbance with your audio. There's breakage of voice and some weird sounds.
Arey, I have no one with me. Okay.
No voice will become. No, ma'am.
Can any other person also tell that? Is there any
No,
problem?
it's still the same, ma'am.
Ma'am, your voice is clear, ma'am.
Which is good.
Thank you. Any other boy also, please address me.
Your voice is good, ma'am.
Arey, check with your internet connection, dear. I have no one. I sent my children away. I locked my door and I'm sitting here. So I don't know. Okay, if that is a problem, maybe rest of you. Who is this who has a problem? Can you name yourself? Hello, the lady who has a problem. Okay, you do one thing. Please leave the meeting and rejoin again. Maybe your problem might be solved. Leave the meeting and join again. Okay. Sorry, 1 minute I joined. Okay. Now we have 40 minutes in total and 30 minutes to listen and answer on the question paper and 10 minutes to, these are all known things. That's why I'm going faster, my dear friends. 10 minutes to transfer your question from the question paper to answer sheet. What are those? Those are the answers, not something else. Okay, right. So 3 points, perfectly there in your mind. And now, whenever you answer, today I'm also going to share, tomorrow I'll share. Tomorrow I'll be sharing with you the answer sheet format. If possible, take a print.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
it's not understandable, ma'am. I mean, it's very weird sounds. You cannot understand what you're saying.
Mr. Krishna, do you have the same problem?
If it's
Ma'am,
only with me, it's
getting
okay, ma'am. I guess
good
it's
audio,
the
ma'am.
same for
I
others
think
too.
It's
I'm
not
getting good audio, ma'am.
No one is having the problem, dear. Who is this talking? Please, I said
Roni,
no.
ma'am.
Please
I'm
rejoin
Roni.
again.
I'm having
Ah,
good audio.
Roni, it's okay. Roni, it's okay. Okay, the lady who has the problem, please leave and come back, or else listen to tomorrow's class. Not an issue.
I think her network
Yeah,
is slow.
network is low. Right. Fine. Friends, if you have a problem, you can chat and you can let me know. Okay, she is going to rejoin. Fine. Now, definitely from tomorrow onwards, day after tomorrow onwards, when the exercises are given to you, please answer them only on the answer sheets. Take a printout, go to a Xerox shop and take a printout of 15 copies or 20 copies and have them with you to write the answers, both of reading as well as listening. That will be for your practice. Okay? And one very important thing that you have to remember is you will listen to any kind of conversation only once. Only once. Okay? So, before you begin your test, the first thing that you have to do is you have to check your headphones, the audio from your headphones, the sound quality of your headphones when you're taking your real time test. Even now, also, that should be a general, habitual action when you're doing your listening exercise. Check your audio. Okay? So, because you listen to anything only once, second time, not at all repeated because the tape is only played once. Right. And use only a pencil, and the scores will be given only for the correct answers. It's a commonsensical thing. That is one. And next, this is where you have to, what and where you have to take a decision for either to use a capital letter to write or the lowercase. Friends, this is very important point. Listen to me carefully. Suppose you have decided to write all the answers in capital letters. For example, you want to write writing. WRITING should all W till G, all the letters should be capital. Once you decided to write everything in capital, every letter can be in capital and everything should be in capital. Suppose you decided that you want to go for a lowercase, that means small letters. Okay, what should you do? You should write everything. Writing is a verb, so you have to use all the letters in small. But when you're writing a name, okay, of person or a place, okay, you definitely have to use the first letter to be a capital. I hope you understood. Suppose you decided to use every letter in a capital, no issues, go for it. First letter to last letter in a word, everything can be capital. It's accepted in Ielts. In general writing, it's not accepted, but in Ielts listening and examination, it is accepted. Okay, and when you're going for a lowercase, you write every answer in lowercase, but you're writing proper nouns. You have to definitely use the capital letters in the beginning of the names. Next very important point is this: don't exceed the word limit in the answer. And sentence completion requires a phrase to be added to make it grammatically correct. See, for example, you will meet Mr. Ron dash. When the conversation is going on, you will have a building, right? So you can't write, you will meet Mr. Ron building. It's nonsense. There's no connection. So you will meet Mr. Ron at the building, in the building, on the building. According to conversation, you have to take a decision and you have to write and make it grammatically correct. That is how your sentence completion goes with. I recommend you to go with any of the case, but see, many of us are not used to write capital letters, right? I recommend you to go to a lowercase, but remember in your mind, and you know this, for a name or something else, you have to write the first letter to be capital. Go with the lowercase rather than a capital, because some words, as if something will be there in our mind, we start writing first 10 words in capitals, next 10 words, what happens is they go in small letters and everything will be cancelled. So you should be very careful. Okay, go with the small letters only, but for names and all, be careful. Next. If it is a general question, write a single word. For example, I met Ron And there's one diagram mentioned, and there are building, estate, field, forest, and anything is mentioned. So I have to just match a word. If it is a sentence, I have to match it grammatically correct. If it is a general question of a choice or identifying and writing the information, I have to go only with a single word. Okay? Now, the next one, which is really, really very important, is spelling, capital letter usage, and grammar should be perfect. Okay? The slide shows like this. If you want to use all capital letters, use all capital letters. If you want to use lowercase, use all lowercases, but when you go for your names and everything, go for the first letter to be a capital letter. And don't exceed the word limit for the answer. This is common for reading and listening. And see that your sentence completions are matched in such a way that the whole sentence is completed grammatically correct. Accuracy of grammar should be there. But if it is a general thing, isolatedly given, you can write it in the form of a single word. And you can use a spelling. You have to use the spelling, capital letter usage, and grammar very properly. Okay? Next. This first point is very interesting and important that you have to remember. All words and numbers are counted. For example, I saw the lion hiding near dash. Fill in the blank with no more than 2 words. I saw the lion hiding near dash. Okay. If it is near a bush, you have to write the bush. The, a, and are also considered to be single words. You may ask me, ma'am, a is single and it doesn't make. Is a word taken into consideration in listening. And is also a word. The is also a word. Prepositions are also the words. So every single word, a letter making a word makes a sense here. So all words and even numbers. Okay. In 1980, I met Miss, Sarojini Naidu in dash in 1980 or 1960. Okay, if in is missing, it also doesn't make a sense. Okay, 1980 gives only a one-word answer. So grammatically, you have to check it and also look at the words and numbers which you're taking into consideration, right? So in is also a word. Prepositions are words. Articles are also words counted. This is a very, very important point to be noted. Okay? Now, words or letters in multiple choice questions. I told you in the beginning when I told you about the multiple choice. A, B, C, the words will be given, letters will be given. You have to identify one of the answer, then you answer it as A or B or C. But when you have a choice of 10 and you are asked to write 2 answers from it, you may not be asked to take a letter, but instead you are asked to go with the words. Okay, so for example, you have to pack this important luggage when you're going on an excursion. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, likewise, pen, book, rucksack. You have a pair of walking boots or, mosquito repellent. So many choices are given. In the conversation, it can be with the book as well as a rucksack. So you have to give both the answers in the form of words rather than in the form of both the letter and word because it is addressed like that. If the letter is missing, you have to give the answer only in the form of a word. So multiple choices are quite deceptive. So read the question, even though you identify that as a multiple choice question, please see that you just definitely identify what type of multiple choice presentation that you have to do. And one more important thing, my dear friends, don't try to understand everything. Only do a targeted reading. Okay, so you have to have a goal. Okay, this is my keyword. This is my anchor word. I have to search here, here, here. This is all nonsense. Don't say that this is nonsense, but still that is not needed. No need to dump your, brain with all the unnecessary information. You need to only key or hanger. Okay, to the information which is really very important, right? And don't try to understand everything as I told you right now. And one important thing, all are important points only. These are taken in the form of a research and given to you in the beginning itself so that no mistake will be done by you. So next, given in pink is this. Prepare for the question and answer. My dear friends, I told you for section 1 you have 10 questions. Don't think that the conversation, I also told you that the conversation will be made heard only once. No problem. Why? I said no problem. Quantity, I said. The thing is, they'll tell you. You will listen to a conversation for the questions 1 to 5. Get ready with the conversation. There'll be some instructions given. So obviously what happens is you have to prepare the question. And they give you, after telling an instruction, they give you a few seconds, 30 seconds time for you in order to identify and underline the anchor words. Very faster. 30 seconds goes like this, but still that should be used by you. Okay, so only 5 questions. Don't read all the 10 questions or don't read all the 40 questions. Just 5 questions. Focused reading, as I said, it should be a focused reading. And also, now, okay, you're ready with the 5 questions with the keywords and you started listening. While you're listening, the words in your question should go on lingering, and while listening itself, you have to identify the answer and write. So 3 responsibilities are being handled by you at one single shot. One is reading the question. 2 is listening to the conversation or the record. And number 3 is giving an answer in rough. Okay? So 3 things have to be done in one go is a real challenging task for any individual. Okay? That's the reason, even though a person who got 9 times score continuously 2 times, it's also a challenge for him or her. The thing is, please identify only that particular set of questions and identify the keywords. Get ready. Peacefully you sit to listen to the conversation and they will come and match with your mind with the keywords and you have to take them only as the answers. Don't take unnecessary things. That's why don't understand anything, everything, not anything. Sorry. Okay. And one more very important thing is, okay, you read for 30 seconds. You started listening to the conversation. 2, 3 words completed, 1 answer went away. Okay. 6, 7 words completed, 2 more answers went away. But you're still thinking, oh, 1 answer is completed, I will go for the rest of the 2 answers. But by that time, your 5 questions conversation is completed. What's the use of it? So answers can come quickly from the first word of the conversation when you're listening to a record. So you should be really, really very keen when you're listening to it. Okay. And one more thing is, keep an eye on the next question. Okay, you answered that question. Fine, I got the answer. What is this? Next question is there waiting for you. Don't wait. Okay. So once you answer, this eye should go, your eyesight or your focus should be there on the immediate next question because already you read the question and you have to make your mind faster, faster, faster. Come on, questions. Come on, let me answer. Okay. And make notes. I don't recommend this to make notes because the time will be up. Focus, focus, focus. Clear your mind, make focus, do meditation. Really, I'm not joking. Meditation is really very important because it increases your concentration. You may ask me, ma'am, for IELTS listening, is it needed? It's for your life, it is needed, not for IELTS listening. Okay, right. There may be a gap between the answers. Okay, fine. First 5 questions, answers came like this in a shot. First 3 questions. Now the conversation is going on and on and on, and you're hurry. What is this? 3 questions came at one go, and I'm not getting the 4th and 5th answers. No worries. Answer will come at the end. Wait for it. Have patience. Okay. So either your answers will come and go by immediately, or else you will be having a lot of gap. So no one can, tell you particularly this is what it is, this is what it is. No, it's your luck. It's the fate on that day, particularly without any headache, without any distraction, without any hunger. You have to go there and sit so that your focus will be only on listening. Or else you'll think about your stomach, you'll think about your thirst, you'll think about your head, or you'll think about anything else. Don't worry about all those things. Eat properly and go. Okay? Next. There are also common traps as if you have in reading here. Okay. See, for example, the first thing which is mentioned over here is answers that are changed. How? How this is a trap. See, for example, there will be a conversation between two students, talking about their meeting point of time. One student says, "My dear friend, I'm going to meet you at 2:30 this afternoon. Oh no, I'm so busy at that point of time. I might be coming to you at 2:45. Is that okay?" Fine. This is a conversation. One time only it'll come. Now, the answers are, when will the person come and meet the other person? When will the boy come and meet the girl? 2:30, quarter past, not quarter past, quarter less 3. Okay, quarter past 2:30. Likewise, the answers will be given. Did you hear to that nonsense over there? 2:45, 2:30, you listen. But the answer is given in a different way. Answer is changed. So you have to get used to that kind of ideology also. This is a trap. Answer is there. 2:45. Okay. What is that? Quarter less 3 or quarter past 2:30 is one of the answers which you have to write if it is given over there. They won't straight away give you as 2:45. That is one trap which you have. And one more thing which I told you in the conversation of listening is, if it is technical terminology which we came across in the reading part and all, only related to that particular concept, they won't change it. But if they are like the words like students, IELTS students means it's not a student, IELTS test taker. So if they say in the question IELTS students are there, there also IELTS students is there. So your answer is not from that part. Answer is from a different part. But what you people will be thinking, my dear friends, you will think, oh, when the listening is going on, yes, IELTS listening, IELTS students. Definitely your answer won't be there. The test takers of IELTS, yes, the answer would be there. So always remember, IELTS is a test which will be testing your paraphrase abilities, not the exactness. Until and unless it is a perfect technical word and it doesn't have synonyms. Okay. See, for example, agnostic. This is one of the words in English. One of the words in English. Agnostic states that a person who has a doubt in the existence of God. Theist is a person who has a belief in God. A theist is a person who doesn't believe in God. Okay, when the listening is going on and the question is asked, agnostic, theist, and atheist will never change because they don't have synonyms. Okay, they're technical words. They have synonyms, but they're technical words because we are talking about philosophy and godly things in the passage. But atheist believes in God. Believes can be changed. Okay, so you should be really very importantly listening to the paraphrase rather than the exact words. Answers will not come near the exact words. And repeated answers. Okay, so you actually, what happens? This repeated answers is one of the advantage. Repeated answer, my friends, I'm not telling that repeated answer means answer used in question number 9 will be repeated in 12. No, that is not my sense. Repeated answers here is one thing. For example, in the third conversation, you have 4 students. They are talking about one issue. X will say, this is the major concern of the day, right? And Y will also say, I believe that you said this is the concern of the day. Z will tell, I accept what you said, that this is the consent of the day. An actual answer for our question is consent of the day. So what do I mean is, sometimes repeated answers which are stressed in your conversation, answers means, or else I rather put it to you as a repeated conversation. Repeated conversation which is used here will be an advantage. It's not a trap. Only these two are the traps. Repeated answers are your advantage. Okay. So when they are there, it's easy for you to get the answer because the same word will be repeated twice or thrice. And very importantly, go for listening to the plurals, which is really very important. And I said there's no negative marking. Do some guesswork. If you have missed any answers in the middle, also don't worry. You do some guesswork and write something and fill in the gaps because there's no negative marking. Maybe God's grace, if you have luck, obviously your answer might be correct. Okay. And one important thing that you have to do during your listening is listen to the example. In the beginning, I guess in 2020, they removed that example. I'll tell you. See, in good olden times till 2019, what used to happen is listen to for example, listen to the example given. Likewise, they used to tell. Now they are not going to tell you, listen to the example given. They will directly start talking and you have to go along with the talk. Previously, till 2019, they used to tell that that was an example and people used to listen. Only for section 1, question 1, the example will be there. Rest of the questions, no examples, continuous conversation. Now even they are not going to tell that also. They are going to talk, answer is inside and it will be written there. But they won't say that it's an example. So from the beginning of the start of the examination, you have to be ready that, oh yeah, questions have begun. Okay. Now, very vitally, you people have to get acquainted with various ranges of accents, UK, Australian, American, Canadian. First three, these four are the basic accents. Rest we can go afterwards. Look for the titles of the passage, titles of the questions, no more than 3 words, or else excursion, or else, history, anything. The title will help you instead of getting unnecessary answer because you have a history, you go with the historical words. You have an excursion, you go with the words of excursion, not with the unnecessary words. So titles are important to be checked. Check where all the questions are. This is also a very important thing which everybody does a mistake. The thing is, I told you, no, not for 10 questions they give a conversation at one time. 5 questions, 3 questions, 2 questions, or 5 questions one time, the other 5 questions one time. So what is that you have to do? In the gap of 30 seconds which are given, also check where the questions are. Are they on the same side of the paper or else on the back side of the paper or going to the next page? In which way they are given, either in the map. Okay, so find out, is the question extending to next page or else you will answer till the last part of the page and you will miss the next. What is the use of it? IELTS listening is your forte. You can get your full on it. And unknowingly you messed up one answer, which will take away your 9 mark. Okay, so please check where the questions are. As I said, even though you miss only one answer, don't worry, move. And already I told you the last point, technical academic vocabulary cannot be paraphrased. So they need not be paraphrased. Okay. So today we will stop here. Till here, if you have any doubts, it's already 8:35. Tomorrow we will be doing question by question, every type of question, and we'll be answering there, then and there itself. Once you're thorough with answering, how you have to listen and answer, then we start practicing individual exercises. Tomorrow onwards, we'll jump into listening part. These are very less things which we have. We can complete them in 5-10 minutes tomorrow. Any doubts till this?
Hello,
More
ma'am.
information is given. Yeah, tell me.
Ma'am, I want to speak to you, ma'am. Which
Tell
time,
me,
ma'am?
dear.
Which time you are free, ma'am?
Mr. Sai Kumar, I'll tell you, I am.
Ma'am, Indumati, ma'am.
Okay, Miss Indumati, actually, Yeah, I'll tell you in the Mati, I'm actually not till 7 o'clock. I am in school
Okay, ma'am.
every day. Okay.
Mm.
So right now, because of this COVID situation, I'm coming at 5 again, taking class at 7. Maybe 5 to 7, I'll be free, but I'll be doing some important jobs,
Okay, ma'am.
preparing. Okay. Maybe weekends and all, I'll be free in the evenings. You can call.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Any other person who has a doubt? How can we do targeted listening to summary questions? We'll be practicing tomorrow's class, day after tomorrow's class. I will make you to practice every strategy. Then you will understand. You will only tell me, man, this is the strategy you taught us. Don't worry, this is the first class and I gave you all the instructions which will be really helpful to you. Okay, thank you. Good night.